All right, this is part 4. It's going to be pretty brief. This covers the exam 1.3-4, 1-3-4. But as I'm looking over it, we've covered, I think, all but one or two of the problems in previous sections. So if we go to number 21, this is the note for Triton for the new theme park. We covered that, I think, on the first part of the exam review, so you can look at that. And then the Glass Corporation, where we got the deposit, exact same numbers and everything. So you can, I think that was the second one. So you can take a look at that. If you want. Okay, this one, 23, is new. This is on contingent liabilities. The following facts apply to Tiny Part Toy Company's pending litigation as of December 31st, 2013. Tiny Part is defending against the lawsuit and believes there is a 51% chance it will lose in court. If it loses, Tiny Part estimated that the damages will be $500,000. And we go down here, and it's how would they do the lawsuit in the statements December 31st. Okay, so if you remember, we have a grid. It's probable, possible, and remote on this axis. And then we have known. This is the amounts. Known, reasonably, estimable, and unknown. Okay, so we have known here. If this were IFRS, the 51% chance would put it in probable, but because we're doing GAAP, we put it in the possible, and it's a known amount. So on A, we would have a disclosure note only. Then B, Tiny Part is defending against another lawsuit for which management believes it is virtually certain to lose in court. Okay, so that's probable, right? If it loses the lawsuit, management estimates damages will fall somewhere in the range of 30 to 50,000, with each amount in that range equally likely to occur. So this is probable and estimable. When you have a range like that, you take the expected value, so that would be the midpoint, since they're equally likely on that. And so B would be to record the liability for 40,000 and disclose in a note. Okay, C here. Tiny Part is defending against the lawsuit that is identical to item B, but the relevant losses will occur far into the future. The present values of the endpoint range are 15 and 25,000. Management believes the effects of time value on the money in these amounts are material, but also believe the timing of these amounts is uncertain. So you would have record the liability, and it would be the midpoint for 20,000, and of course disclose on that. And finally, D, Tiny Part is defending against the fourth lawsuit. They believe there's only a 25% chance of lose in court. If Tiny Part believes damages will fall somewhere in the range of 35 to 40, each amount being likely to occur, that one would be remote, and so no disclosure is required. Now, how to answer a question like this? Okay, and I just put down what it is. On this one, let's say on part D, you don't know if 25% is remote or if 25% is possible, right? You just don't know. And so the way you answer this would be to pick one, whichever one you think is most likely. Let's say you said possible. Since this is possible, right, we will record a disclosure in a footnote. Okay. For $37,500. Or we can even say 35 to 40,000 dollars. If, on the other hand, you decide that 25% is remote, you say, because this is remote, no disclosure is required. Now, why do you answer it that way? Because you don't know whether it's remote or whether it's possible, but it tells me you know what you're doing as far as whether you have to disclose it or whether you have to record it, or where that all falls, all that kind of stuff in there. So it tells me that despite the fact that you may know what it is, and we can argue 25% is remote or possible. This is where that accounting judgment comes in there. So that's why don't just give me an answer. Give me an answer why. Because it's remote, because it's possible. So then I know that you understand the structure. Okay. All right. So this one's a little bit different. I think they're pretty easy. The bonds are issued at par, so we get cash of 25 million and bonds payable for 25 million. So this was most likely a private placement. We sold them to an insurance company. They're happy, we're happy, and we get it at par, right? Okay, B, the cash received for the bonds is 26,250,000. The face value is 25 million. And so we're going to get cash 26,250,000. We're going to have bonds payable 25 million. And I'm going to put the premium on bonds payable. And that's going to be 1,250,000. And then finally, down here, the cash received was 23,084,000. So we get cash 23,084. We're going to have bonds payable for 25 million. And we're going to have discount on bonds payable 1,916,000. And that's all there was to that one. Okay. Determine the price for each bond. Each case is independent. Yeah, I think I think this is the one that we did before, the zero coupon. Let me take a look. Zero coupon, 7%. No, slightly different interest rates, so I'll go ahead and do them. The zero coupon is the same, but that's easy, so we'll just do it anyway. Okay, so number 25, a bond issue for $10 million with an 8% coupon paid semi-annually, so that's going to be $40,000. Annuity, the bond is for 20 years. The current market rate is 9%. So we go to table 2. We're going to need 4.5% for 40 years is 0.17193. And then table 4, again, 4.5%, 40 years, 18.40158. And we just multiply those out and add them together. $730. Whoops, that's 400,000. Not 40,000. I was thinking 1 million. Okay. So that's 7,360,632. $1,719,300 is $9,079,932. And again, does that make sense? The interest rate is up, so the value is down, and that makes sense. Bond issue for $10 million with a 10% coupon, so that's going to be 500,000 semi-annually, and the market rate is currently 12%. Oops, 10 million. And so table 2, %6 for 20 periods, 0.31180, 3,018,000. And table 4 is 6% for 20 periods, 11.95038. $5,975,190. Add to that 3,018,000. 9,093,190. Again, that makes sense. The interest rate is down, and then the zero coupon bond, $10 million. So we're going to use 7% for 15 years is 30 years. 12.40904. Oops, wrong table. I need table 2. 7% for 30 years is 0.13137. Is 1,303,370. And again, so that's the 0 coupon bond. And I think the last one we've done. Yeah, this one we just did recently, so you can look back at that. All right, so that ought to give you a pretty good start on the exam. If you know that, you'll be in pretty good shape.